banquet. Maybe you can come to mine next year and also get on board. And I hope you win an award and have fun at Biola.
Hi. I just didn't want to leave without saying something to all of you because you are all very special to me, and this program has been very special to me. I'm leaving this year, as you all know, and I'm very excited about that. I'm ready to leave. I've been ready to leave for a while. And I don't know how to say this exactly. 3 years ago, I was 14. I may have looked a lot the same, but I was very different. I was a lot younger. I was a lot less mature. I didn't say much. I just kind of sat back and I contributed it in my own quiet way. But now, through being a leader, by letting you guys pick me as a leader, by being proud to be a leader for you, I've really grown. And I've grown in a way that I don't think I could have grown if you hadn't all have given me that chance. And so I want to say thank you to everyone because, to quote one of my favorite poems by Alfred Lord Tennyson, Ulysses, he says, "I am a part of all that I have been." And just as I hope I have been a little bit a part of all of you, you have all been a part of me. And so I want to say thank you. We have something to do real quick.
We could go on tonight without recognizing someone who's very special to us all, especially if you're in the band or in the band boosters. And I'd just like to really thank Mr. Hall for all he's done for us because, as you all know, like we all worked really hard, but without Mr. Hall, they're pushing us and challenging us and really encouraging us every step of the way. There's no way that we could have come this far. And I just want to really say thank you to him just for a lot of little things too that maybe a lot of you don't even know. You know, like giving up his vacation time over Thanksgiving to come in and spend like 5 hours recording all state music with me and Catherine, and just little stuff like that that other people just don't take the time to do that he did that made a difference in our lives and a lot of your lives too, and just everything. And I just really want to say thank you. And we have all the seniors signed a card and wrote a little message in here and gave you a gift certificate to Olive Garden just to say that we really appreciate everything that you've done in the past 3 years, Mr. Hall.
Okay, I'm going to be real quick here. I would like to thank very much the members of the current band. Well, I decided to.
Goofy, huh?
We all figured that he had to be a little goofy. It's perfect. You should wear it tomorrow. All day.
Everybody get ready to off. Aww. point of order.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to recognize a gentleman that had a big part in starting the wheel rolling, because he was here while I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do when I was going to grow up. And he's had a big influence on a lot of the seniors here and on a lot of the juniors, and he's been a big help to me, especially that first year when things were frightening and I didn't know what to do. And he never let me down, and I've always appreciated that. And he's a wonderful person, and I'd like to recognize Mr. Bill Vitale. Since everybody's recognized everybody in the Band Boosters, I don't have to do too much of that, but I'd just like to say thank you to all the parents that have made such a difference for us this year, because without you, it couldn't happen. It just could not happen. I'd also like to thank all the committee that set up this beautiful banquet, and somebody that hasn't been thanked yet, if they're still around, the people that served us this evening. Could you guys please stand up? Gail Johnson, Alma Martinez, Jennifer McDowell, Teresa Newton. Watch Jenna's amazing talents as she filters through this. Maria Padilla, Leticia Pastrana, Amanda Prado, Carrie Rowe, Veronica Sanchez, part of my excellent planning 3 seconds in advance. I came to find out earlier today that, well actually I checked on it 2 days ago, but I found out today that we didn't have enough of our letterman's letters to fulfill our obligation. So what I'm going to do is announce everyone's name that has lettered in band this year, a lettered person, and ask them to come up and give them a nice round of applause. These are for people that have been part of the high school program for 2 years. Joe Barron, Teresa Newton, Nick Oswald, Amanda Prado, Rick Price, Justin Smith, Matt Treadway, Ben Walters, and Melissa Washington. We'll wait for Melissa this time. Neither the district or regional festival this year. We are awarding each one of them with the Southern California School Band and Orchestra Association Superior Medal, which is the rating they received at both festivals. A neat thing about being in the band is it's not what you do individually, it's what you do as part of the team. That's one of the things I try to stress all the time, and I think everybody is really taken on, because individuals don't make the group happen, it's the team. It's not the strongest player, it's not the weakest player, it's everyone working together. And one of the things I require before people come to festival with the group is that they pass off their music with me. And some of you would be absolutely amazed if you saw the amount of growth people make because they want to participate in something that's going to be important to them and it's going to be a great experience. And I had people that at the beginning of the year had a real difficult time, and by the time we got to festival, did an amazing job. And I'd like to recognize all of those people now. If you would please come forward. Joe Barron, Melissa Fulmar, Wendy Gustafson, Toby Halverson, Eric Holler, Jenny Kim, Brian Kimball, Josh Kleinbergs, Cindy Lee, Davin Maskey, Priscilla Matias, Sarah McAllister, John Moles, Nick Oswald, Kenesha Perkins, Rick Price, Leslie Rubin, Eric Sterling, Jennifer Stetson, Matt Treadway, Jason Vaya, Kirsten Widowich, and Masanori Yamanaka. Can we please give them a nice round of applause? And that Mr. Vitale had a big part of in getting set up properly, having audition procedures determined, bringing in a guest conductor from a different area, whether it be a high school or college conductor. And it gives our kids a chance to go out and work with a quality professional teacher that they haven't seen before, and work with other musicians with whom they haven't worked before from the other high schools. And as always, La Mirada High School dominated the band. We had the most people in it, which I'm always proud to say. And I'd like those people to please come forward at this time. Janae Batante, Michael Krogan, Stacy Cumby, Amy Francis, Anna Golden, Brandon Haywood, Toby Halverson, Carolyn Height, Eric Holler, Hilda Lowe, Priscilla Matias, Ronnie Moore, Elizabeth Orr, Catherine Orr, Rick Price, Jeff Silzer, Eric Sterling, Jennifer Stetson, Ben Walters, and Adrian Widowich. These are the people that represented us by audition. They placed in the group, and they made us very proud by being part of our honor band this year. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Part. Everybody has to play their own part. It's a very individual effort. And I'm very proud of these people because our first year, I believe we sent 17, 18 people to solo and ensemble, and we had 2 that made it to regionals with a superior rating. And this year, we have, I believe, 10 or 11 that made it to regionals with a superior rating. A lot of growth has happened in that time. First, I would like to recognize the people that received an excellent rating at solo and ensemble at the district level. Rochelle Batante, Regina Buckley, Stacy Cumby, Carolyn Height, Hilda Lowe, Catherine Orr, Justin Smith, Ben Walters, and Adrian Widowich. The following people received a superior rating at the district level and were allowed to advance to the regional level, where they made us very proud also. People that received a superior rating at the district level solo ensemble: Janae Batante, Stacy Cumby, Leandro de Almeida, Brandon Haywood, Ronnie Moore, John Maddox, Elizabeth Orr, Catherine Orr, and Jeff Silzer. We have a nice round of applause for them, please. I'd like to ask the regional people to stay up here for just a second, because I'd like to present them with another award. As part of receiving a superior rating or an excellent rating at regionals, not only do they receive a medal from SCSBOA, from our band boosters, but they also receive a certificate of award from the Southern California School Band and Orchestra Association, which for participating in the 59th annual regional awards and regional festival. And the people that received an excellent rating at that festival: John Maddox and Jeff Silzer. And people that received a superior rating: Janae Batante, Stacy Cumby, Leandro de Almeida, Brandon Haywood, John Maddox, Ronnie Moore. Ronnie actually received 2 because she played in the quartet and did a solo. Elizabeth Orr, Catherine Orr. Jeff Silzer also received 2 for his solo and his quartet. These people really, like I said, we've come a long way from 2 to about 11 now. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Next on our list of people I'd like to recognize are people that made honor groups within our state. This too is something that I've always been trying to push people towards, because it not only gives them an opportunity to grow as they work on their music and they go through the audition experience, which is a wonderful learning experience, not only for nerves, but just to experience it. You kind of have to do it to understand it. But they not only make us very proud by representing us in these groups, but they have an opportunity to play with the finest players throughout Southern California and the state of California. First two people I'd like to recognize are, and let me explain how that worked out, are our All Southern Jazz Band junior high members. In the All Southern Jazz Band, they take students from grades 7 to 9. Unfortunately, some of our freshmen, of course, are 9th graders, so they auditioned and they made it. And those two gentlemen are Brandon Haywood and Jeff Silzer. Will you please step forward? We also have a wonderful musician who, as a freshman, was an alternate for Allstate, and she got the opportunity to go, and her growth has been tremendous, and she's only been playing her instrument about 2 years now. I'd like to recognize Catherine Orr for being a member of the Allstate band. The last person in this special group is someone who made the All-Southern Band for the 2nd year in a row, made the All-State Band for the 2nd year in a row, and also made the CMEA, correct me if I'm wrong, Ronnie, the CMEA Band. What happens when you go to All-State is it's done by a taped audition, and after you get there, they make you re-audition. If you end up in the top group, you get another opportunity to play at the California Music Educators Convention Festival later in the year. And this person brought us that honor also. Let us recognize Ronnie Moore. And next year I expect to see at least 3 more people standing up here with this group of people. Thank you very much to all of you. Congratulations. Now for the fun stuff. This is all fun, actually. I enjoy this. I hope you guys are bored by it. Senior Service Awards. We've had some really outstanding seniors in our group this year who've really contributed and made a big difference. And not just this year, but it's their service that they've given us throughout all the time they've been involved in our program, whether it be 1 year or 4 years. They've made a big difference and they've stuck it out to the end. That, I think, is one of the most difficult things for people to do, because every year we have 25, 30 kids start as freshmen, and there's so many other things that they get involved in and they want to become part of, which is completely understandable, but oftentimes in the course of the 4-year process, we end up losing a lot of them. And it's very special to make it all the way through the program to the end, and we want to recognize those people for doing so. As a member of our tall flag team this year, I'd like to recognize Danielle Ashfield. She's been on our tall flag team for 2 years. Next person I would like to recognize, who I'm not sure if she's here either, is Stacy Beetham. The next person is someone that's been an incredible musician in our program, and I really mean that. She's a fantastic musician. She's done some amazing things. She's played clarinet, tenor saxophone, alto saxophone, and this year I asked her, can you play trombone? We need that. She said, sure, no problem, and she's been an outstanding trombone player. She's going to go to Biola University next year on a nice scholarship. She's worked very hard, and she's a very deserving person of that scholarship, and she's brought us a lot of pride to our program with her not only her fine musical expertise, but just being the fine person she is. I'd like to recognize Janae Batante. want to sit down. Janae is also one of the shyest people you'll ever meet, so it's good for her to stand up here for a while. The next person I'd like to recognize is someone who has been an outstanding, and just an outstanding person. This year she was the editor of the yearbook. She has always set a wonderful example within the band. She's always on time, always prepared, always energetic, always ready to be a part of what's going on. She's made an amazing amount of growth in the last 3 years, and she too will be going to, I don't want to mess it up, so I'm not even going to say it. She's going to Life Bible College next year. She might be even following, we had this talk last week, she might be following in the footsteps of her father, who's a minister, which I think is a wonderful profession to go into. Affects and helps an awful lot of people, and she would be a wonderful person at this. She's been an inspiration to all of us, and we've really enjoyed having her here. I've enjoyed having her here, and we'll miss her next year. Michelle Burnett. The next person I would like to recognize is someone who has made a tremendous amount of progress this year as a musician. He's been with us ever since the beginning of time. He's done an awful lot of improving this year. I'm really proud of his efforts. He too has been a very wonderful addition to the program. He makes a lot of people laugh, makes a lot of people happy, makes them feel good, makes them feel warm, helps spread the warmth of our band family, and I appreciate all of his efforts. Mr. Stephen Davalon. The next person I'd like to recognize this evening is someone that's standing up here with us. She's kind of our cheerleader. She's someone that whenever I ask her to take care of something, can you do this, can you do that, she does it. She does it marvelously. I learned about her talents last year when I decided we needed band shirts, and I decided I wasn't going to deal with it anymore. I said, Jenna, you want to be on this committee? And she volunteered for it, and I did not do anything. I didn't collect a penny. I didn't touch a shirt except the one they handed me. And she's been like that ever since she's been in the program. This year she, along with Hilda Lowe, have done an amazing job of reorganizing our library, alphabetizing every piece of music, and then putting it on a computer. So when Mr. Phillips from Norwalk calls and says, hey Jamie, do you have this tune? I don't have to go, I can actually look on a list and say, yeah, I do. I have a copy of that. And she has been an inspiration to us all. I got this, it's amazing. These kids are so talented. Some of you just, I'm sure you know your kids. But it was great. Last night I came to the Reader's Theater, and she had a part in that, and it was just wonderful. And I will miss her greatly too, Miss Jenna Heck. This next person is someone that has always been very good about being a very conscious, aware, conscious is the word that comes to mind. We always have those talks about reality, fairness, and rightness. And she's someone that has been an outstanding musician in our program from the beginning of time. She's been in honor band every year. She has been a great influence within her section. There again, she's a team player. She's not selfish. Last summer she was on vacation. She's one of the finest clarinet players in the room, and I said, well, you're on vacation, you're not here to audition, so sorry. She came in, sat down last chair, said no problem, didn't sulk, didn't complain, worked her way up to where she belongs, and there again another testament to what an outstanding person she is. She also has received a 4-year full scholarship from Cal State Fullerton, and a testament to her outstanding abilities as a student. And she makes us very proud, and I'm very proud to have had her in our group, Miss Amy Francis. Is Maxine here this evening? The next person I'm going to speak about is someone that You all already have seen what an eloquent speaker she is this evening. She's been the leader of our group from day one since I've been here, and she's a wonderful person. I'm going to greatly miss her. She's an outstanding musician. What more needs to be said? Anna Goulden. Is Christy with us this evening? I'm sorry. Christy Iwasaki has been another person that has contributed greatly over the years and has really helped us a lot and has been a fine person, fine leader in our group, and she will also be missed. Speaking of leaders, this is a person that has grown tremendously this year as a leader. It's frightening when you've never done this before. You always go and look around and say, well, your seniors are gone. Who's going to lead the band next year? And last year we had some of the most outstanding leaders I've ever seen in my life. Guys that just really made a difference in my life and a difference in our group and the way things have moved for us. And they have departed. And other people always seem to come in and take their place, and after a while you don't even notice. It's amazing. She has become one of the finest musicians in the band this year, has improved tremendously. She too will be attending Biola University next year as, I believe, a liberal studies major, and she's going to still play her flute, which I'm very happy to hear because she's a wonderful flutist. Elizabeth Orr. Is Cliff with us this evening? Our last senior, whom I'd like to recognize, is someone that we've had our moments of agreement, disagreement, and everything else, but he's been a very strong leader this year. He's really, I remember when I first met this person 2 years ago, I said, he's very quiet, and he's going to be the section leader in a year, and I thought, nah, he won't do much. He's done a lot, and he's been a real inspiration to all of us. He's been a lot of fun. He'll be attending UC Irvine next year, and I believe he's working in medicine, and he's made us very proud. Things seem to come so easily for him. He does things with very little effort, and I think that's sometimes why we don't notice what an outstanding person and student he is, Mr. Jason Vaya. This is a good photo opportunity, and let's have one more nice round of applause for our outstanding seniors. Hang on, guys. Your parents wait 4 years for this. They at least deserve this. Thank you, seniors. Every year we like to recognize our most improved members in our band. If you'll excuse me for a sec while I duck under the table. I always put these awards under here because I know there are a lot of curious people walking around when I'm not here. So I kind of hide these things as they go by. These people were selected by their peers. They were nominated and then voted upon with a secret ballot, and their peers selected them as being the most improved players or performers within their groups. The first person I'd like to recognize is someone I've known since she was an 8th grader. She too is another silent but strong type, someone who always does the right thing, sets a wonderful example. Her first couple of years, she was involved with the band program, and last year she decided she wanted to try something else and joined the tall flag unit. And she did a tremendous amount of growth, and everybody was very impressed with her ability to grow, and we're very proud of her, Teresa Newton. Band most improved player. This is someone that I've known for, actually I've known him for 3 years. I knew him when he was in the 7th grade. came into the program last year and just started playing his instrument at the beginning of last year. Said he wanted to be in band. I said, okay, here you go try this. He basically was self-taught, made an amazing amount of growth last year. This year, he just got better and better and better and better. He's always let both past 2 years receive superior ratings at solo and ensemble in the duet category. And he's just an amazing young player. And his growth has been something that we've all been fascinated by and we're all very impressed with. Mr. Leandro de Almeida. Performers. First of all, I'd like to, in the category of the most outstanding tall flag member, this person was voted on by her peers, and I can final 3 awards of the evening, which I think to me are one of the biggest reasons we're here this evening, to pay tribute to people that have really set the example through the course of their membership in the band program. The first award we're going to discuss this evening will be the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. This goes to the person that is the most outstanding leader, outstanding player, has really set a wonderful example within the jazz band. Again, as I stated earlier, this is someone that we've had our moments, but when push has come to shove, he's never let me or the group down. He's been a tremendous leader. He has grown, actually, something that goes ignored, but he has grown tremendously as a player this year. Last year was his first year in jazz band. He was just kind of hanging on at first, and this year he set the example for the saxophone section, which is the finest section within the jazz ensemble. Something that I think they are all very proud of, and something he should be very proud of, because they're, again, every day at snack when things are over, he's sitting around and the other guys are sitting around and they're working things out and they're making things happen. And even though, as I want him to know, even though things have happened with us at times, I really greatly appreciate all of his efforts. I appreciate his caring, because any of the differences we have had have been about caring for the band. He always has wanted what's best for our group. And I think he has always done what's best for our group. And he will be greatly missed next year. And I'm very honored to have had the privilege of knowing him and having him as a student in our group. And I wish him the best of luck in everything he does. Mr. Jason Vaya. I've kind of got things a little out of order. I'm disappointed in myself. I spent all this time making this list so I could just go fast and get everything done right and kind of stay orderly. And I forgot one other important award before I meant to get onto our individual solo awards. And that is something that's become a hot topic within our band in the last 3 years, the Section of the Year. Before I go any further with the Section of the Year, at last year's banquet I made a grave error in not noticing someone who had been part of the section for half the year, but the second half of the year she switched over and played an instrument that we desperately needed. And I want to recognize her at this time as a member of last year's Section of the Year, the clarinets, Ms. Carolyn Height. And it never ends up being one of the things, well, whoever's got the biggest section wins, because everybody knows they need to do the right thing and vote for who's maybe the group of people that have made the biggest amount of improvement and have really contributed. It was really funny. I remember back in band camp, we have our Section of the Year plaque. Let's see if it's handy here. It's not. Okay, it's not important anyway. Anyway, you go down the plaque and it's got, you have the little platelets that are blank. And this group decided, well, we're going to take a piece of tape and we're going to write our names on there, write 93, 94. And I just laughed. I can't tell you how hard I laughed, because the clarinets are such an outstanding section that I thought they would dominate this thing from now until, forever. But under the leadership of their section leader, who was someone that was constantly had them in the little practice rooms at lunch having sectionals, this group grew and grew and grew in ability. and without a doubt, anyone's mind was the most outstanding section this year, and that is the flute section, and I'd like to call them up one at a time, please. Our section leader, Elizabeth Orr. Anna Goulden. Rochelle Patante. Michelle Burnett. Jackie Duval. The young lady standing here helping me, Ms. Jenna Eck. Wendy Gustafson. Cindy Lee. Hilda Lowe. Priscilla Matias. And Kanisha Perkins. I'd like to say that these young ladies have proven that if you're willing to work hard for something and make improvement, you can do whatever you want to, because as I said, they have worked incredibly hard, not only individually but at home, but as a team. Many hours after school, many hours at lunch, many hours individually. They set out to do something, and they did it, and by doing so, they made a tremendous improvement in our band, and they've been a strong part of our success this year, and I appreciate everything all of you have done. The flute section, thank you. We have a little drawing for our seniors, those of whom are here with us tonight. Let me get the right names in here. And this is for 2 tickets to the La Mirada Cinema. Is that correct, Mrs. Moore? Aquarium Theater. This will be for 2 tickets, and I'm going to pull the names out. Actually, I'm not going to pull the names out. I'm going to have somebody else come up and do it. Mr. Halverson, could you come and pull the name, please? He has no idea who's where. Pull out a name, please, sir. And the winner of our tickets, which I don't have on me, Ms. Anna Goulden. I should have done this with Mr. Vaya because these are the serious awards. And I want everybody to realize how serious they are to me. We have 2 awards, which we give every year. One is the John Philip Sousa Award, which is for the outstanding band member of our program. And the runner-up to the John Philip Sousa Award, which is the John Painter Award. The Painter Award, he was a band director during the Civil War era, and he made great contributions to band music. And last year we devised this because I felt there were just too many people leaving that need recognition. And this is a person that definitely deserved an awful lot of recognition. You've seen her up here at least 3 or 4 times this evening. She has done an incredible amount of work and growth. She has been a leader, like an incredible leader. She sets an example. She's an outstanding student. She always does the right thing. She always helps others around her. She's never selfish. And I'm going to greatly miss her, not only her wonderful playing, but her wonderful personality in person, because she has made a big difference in our success this year. And I think this is someone we're all very proud of, Miss Elizabeth Orr. I need a water break. You can tell who stays up and watch Saturday Night Live and who goes to bed. Anyway, our last recipient, I'm probably not going to say half the things I'd like to say, just because I've done really well so far this evening and I haven't had any problems with breaking down, and I really don't want to. It's not that I am embarrassed to, I don't know, I don't want to. She was the first band student I met when I came to La Mirada High School. As I passed Mr. Ray in the hall, and actually before I met her mother, I met Anna Goulden, she and her brother. And she always impressed me as a very intense, intelligent young woman that had a lot of outstanding things going on in her mind. Just wanted to be a member of our jazz band. She wasn't very happy with our band at that point, and she wanted to just make some changes. And I remember getting on the phone that summer and saying, you know, you really ought to try the band. And I remember talking to her mother and said, you know, you really should make her try the band. And her mother informed me at that point, she said, Anna does what Anna wants, and she'll do things her way. It's her decision. And boy, that's a profound statement. As I've gotten to know Anna, that's a fact. But anyway, as time has gone on, she did join our marching band. I believe she was second or third chair that first year. No, she was first chair right off the bat. She was first chair in the honor band last year. The list goes on. The thing that makes Anna such an outstanding person is not that she's such a wonderful musician. She and Jason were the two driving forces in our jazz band this year. She was our only returning player that had been in the band for 4 years. She held our rhythm section together when we had a lot of new people in there that didn't know how to work together as a rhythm section. She's extremely patient, and if I can say anyone is a leader by example, it's Anna. She always does what's right. When she tried out for drum major 2 years ago, she was a very shy, very quiet person. But I always knew in her mind and in her heart, she was a very strong person. And that first year was a little bit rocky for her because there was a lot of growing pains she went through. And she did some amazing things. And last year, the growing pains were gone, and she was just the leader of the band. Nobody questioned it. The biggest compliment I can pay to Anna is that, not that I respect her, but that she has the respect of every one of her peers in this room. I don't think there's anyone in here that if you asked them after this, what do you think of Anna Goulden, they'll tell you she's someone that really has meant a lot in my life and someone I will greatly miss. It's been really interesting the last couple of days watching a lot of the sophomores and juniors and freshmen, mainly the sophomores and juniors walking around, the sadness they've had, even up to this afternoon, the sadness seeing the senior class leave and seeing the impact that they've made on their lives. And Anna has been I think the driving force behind that in the 3 years that I've been here. She is just, I can go on and on and on, but I don't think I need to. I think you all know what I mean. All of you that have known her have been touched by her. The one thing I admire in Anna is Anna has never in all of her time in dealing with me, been afraid to tell me when I was wrong. And for those of you that know me, sometimes I have a hard time being wrong. But one thing I can honestly say is that Anna is the one person that when she comes in and says, Mr. Hall, I think there's a better way to do this, or I don't agree with you, I always listen. She has knowledge and a sensitivity of someone that's far older than she is. And she is the person that I feel like was building block number one in this great program we've built today, that all of you in this room have built today and made happen. She was the first person that set that example. And I know she will always be remembered, will always be loved, will always be cherished by us all. And what more can I say? I'm very proud of her. I think she's just tremendous. She's going to be going to Pacific University in Oregon next year, which means she's going to be a long way away, so she can't come and watch us march in our parades. But I know her spirit will be with us, and her thoughts will be with us, and I know we will all think of her. It was interesting when we had our drum major tryouts the other day, almost every one of the candidates said, Anna's done an outstanding job, and I'm going to try to live up to that job. Not one of them said, I'm going to take up where she's left off, which I thought was very interesting. She never got hung up on winning trophies and parades as our drum major. She just wanted the band to do well. She never cared about winning drum major competitions. I could walk away from the band and be all throughout football season, either at the snack shack, down the street, in the parade, wherever. I had the utmost of confidence that if the end of the world came, Anna would know how to deal with the consequences that were going on, probably better than me most of the time. She is so incredibly level-headed, so incredibly thoughtful, and what more can I say? We will miss you. We appreciate you. I thank you for all the growth you've helped me achieve as a human being, and I think everyone else in the room does too. Our John Philip Sousa Award winner this year, Ms. Anna Golden. It's time to be goofy again. Well, I tried, what can I say? Thank you all for coming this evening. Mrs. Haywood? Oh, Mr. Haywood has something he would like to present to one of our outgoing seniors this year.
I'd like to kind of present, it's kind of a joke award, and it goes to one of the seniors in our jazz band. It's kind of been my whipping boy, kind of, you know, pick on and everything, and of course he picks on me. Well, one of his favorite things to do, well, he had candy every day, and it usually Cinnaburst and Lifesavers Island Holes. When he was done with those, he usually would throw them down our bells in the sack section. And so I figured since he's gone, I had to give this to him. I figured I'd do it for him. So, Jason, got something for you.
Mr. Bowles has another word he would like to mention.